What's up, everybody? I'm your host Joseph, and welcome to Fiction and Flow. All right, today I want to talk about a movie that I just seen that's coming out tomorrow, August 2nd. So you may be able to tell from the poster, if you can spot it really quickly, right over here. It's Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Mutant Mayhem. I had the privilege of getting an early screening pass, and I went to go see this movie over the weekend. I'm gonna give you my honest review. So, first and foremost, when I got to the theater, they did have some nice giveaways. Once again, this poster. Let me just show you what that looks like a little bit closer. So I got two, one for me and my child. So there it is. Nice poster showing all the turtles. Donatello is kind of hard to spot at the very corner, but he is there. So they were giving away these posters, and they were giving away Ninja Turtle bags. So I had to choose the one for my favorite turtle. Can you all guess which one that is? No. Yep, you guessed it. My main man, Raphael. So a lot of the kids were wearing them in the theater, which was really cool. So they had Donatello, Michelangelo, Leonardo, and of course Raphael, my favorite turtle. So they also had one more treat, especially for the kids, but anyone was able to enjoy them. They had these sugar cookies with all the turtles painted on the front of them. So kids got to grab those. I didn't. I wanted to let the kids enjoy those. I just got some popcorn. But that was a nice treat welcoming us into the theater for this free screening preview. So I have to start by talking about the art style. So the art style of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and Mutant Mayhem, it reminds me a lot of Into the Spider-Verse. So I think maybe some of the same people may have worked on it a little bit. So it's slightly different than the Spider-Verse, whereas the animation in the Turtles movie, it seems like it's a combination of like sketch drawings, stop motion animation, and claymation. So I kind of feel like it's those three mediums combined to make the movie give it this unique look that you see from the Turtles movie today. That was one thing that kind of was, caught my eyes, visually amazing, so it looks pretty good. So I want to get into a little bit about the plot itself. The plot is somewhat different from maybe most Turtle origins. They kind of spin it a little bit. So I have not seen the Nickelodeon version of the Turtle cartoon, which lasted like several years ago. So I'm not so sure how that compares and contrasts to it. I'm more familiar with the old school 80s animation cartoon. Back in the day, that's when I grew up on the Turtles, so I was like all into it. So check out this clip real quick of the intro. I'm not gonna show you the whole thing, but check it out. Yeah, see, that intro used to get me hyped all the time. And back then, my favorite turtle was Michelangelo. I just loved the nunchucks, and I wanted to emulate him all the time. So one of the major differences for me is that Master Splinter started off as a rat that kind of mutated into like this humanoid form, just like the turtles. Whereas in the original origin, Master Splinter was a man that got big and kind of mutated into a rat. This version was also in the most recent live action movie, whereas they all started off as animals and then mutated into this anamorphic type form. So that's one thing that's a little bit different. So a little bit of a spoiler warning. So in case you all have not seen the movie yet or getting ready to see it, so this is the time we're going to stop the video and go ahead and get your snacks. I'll give you a chance. Just check out some of what the Turtles are doing while I go ahead and give you this little time to check out.
MC Mikey. MC Ricky.
Okay, if you're ready to go ahead with spoilers, here we go. So the plot is about Baxter Stockman, who was in the original cartoon and in the comics as well. Baxter Stockman is creating this mutagen, or as they like to call it now, the ooze, that can change animals into like more humanoid forms. And he's doing this, and his company is kind of looking at it to work with him, and they're kind of like a government-based agency, and they're trying to make basically mutated weapons. So that's their whole purpose. But Baxter is like, no, I want to use these creatures to help and do good. and he starts about mutating a fly. This is the character you see in the trailers called Superfly, which is voiced by Ice Cube. So, Lab gets attacked. He had already started mutating some other creatures, but they weren't fully developed. As the government agency begins to raid the lab, he's trying to destroy all the evidence because he knows they're going to use his creation for nefarious needs. So in the process, Baxter is killed, and Superfly kind of like takes the defense. He kind of like tries to escape with all the other mutants that have not fully developed. So he raises them as a family. And one jar of the ooze kind of comes down, obviously like always, gets into the sewer. It goes across the platform and it mutates the Turtles and Splinter. And it kind of kicks off from there. Now, this group of Turtles to me they're like younger teens. So they're like probably anywhere from like 13 to 14. They're like early teenagers. So it's not like from the live action and the cartoon when they kind of like aged them up a little bit. They kind of seem to be like older teens. So they're kind of younger. So they're silly, they're goofy, they fit right along. They're like in their early stages. So they have just been learning to train and fight, and they've never really had any like actual experiences fighting anyone. So all they do is go out and get supplies. They do supply runs. They learn about being stealthy. And there's a lot of antics that goes on when they do that. So it's real funny and good for the kids and everyone else. A lot of nice humor in those sections. So in the background, there's an evil organization who has been raiding facilities to try to get all these specific parts. No one knows what they're building, but they keep getting hit, and they're hiring other people like, do the job for them. And all of this is done by Superfly and his group of mutated animals as well. So they're all bringing it to him, but nobody's really questioning what he's bringing, right? Because they have no idea. They're just like hired hands, and I'm going to get this part, get paid, and be done with it. So as the Turtles are out doing their hijinks, they run into April O'Neil, who is like a high school journalist who's kind of like trying to get her big lead, but hasn't really getting anything yet. She's kind of like a kid who's kind of been teased and bullied a lot, so she's trying to do something that change her rep. She knows about these different thefts, and she's trying to like figure out what's going on. So she kind of exposes that information to the Turtles, shares it with them, and they kind of like, well, if we stop this crime, maybe we can be accepted by people. Like, our father, Splinter, always tells us, like, the humans will never accept us. They'll hate us. They'll hurt us. They'll want to take our blood. They come together and think that if we can stop this plan, humans will then accept us, and April will record and document everything on her phone and then post it, and that will make everyone feel like, getting along. So that's kind of where the whole plot like comes together. So they're on this mission to try to stop the evil, nefarious Superfly. I do have to mention that another thing that's different from previous Turtle iterations is that there is no Foot Clan, which is like the evil organization that they kind of like their main enemies, as well as not a Shredder, who is like their main nemesis. So those characters don't exist in this universe as of yet. Now, if the movie gets a sequel, I can see them adding that later on, but right now it's not about that. It's about the mutated animals like learning to kind of like try to come together as like one giant family or to oppose all humans. So it's a little bit of back and forth and about how they feel towards society as a whole. Okay, I won't give away the ending because I don't want to completely spoil it for those who haven't seen it yet. However, I do say that this is a really good movie. It was fun. I enjoyed it a lot. All the jokes, the antics, the different viewpoints of the Turtles, I really got to see. Like the personality came out really well. I appreciate that. They kept some of the old school feeling like, Leonardo trying to be the leader. Just he's not confident yet, but he's really trying to push forward with that. Michelangelo still being like the chill, like kind of cool guy, hanging out, silly, but still knows what he's doing. Donatello being the brains of the group, but like learning how to have confidence in himself and his inventions. And finally, Raphael kind of being like the tough guy, kind of learning how to go off on his own, but also learning how to respect the roles of everybody else in the group. I would say if you are a Turtle fan, you like animated action, kung fu, karate type things going on, funny antics, a little humor mixed in with it, definitely check out Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Mutant Mayhem. That's been my honest review of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Mutant Mayhem. If you enjoyed this video, go ahead and hit that like button. Subscribe to the channel to know when new videos drop just like this. Drop a comment below to let me know what you think. Do you plan on seeing the movie? If you have already, what is your opinion? If you haven't, let me know what you think. What do you anticipate? All right, and I will catch you next time. Peace. I'm your host Joseph. Fiction Ink Flow. I'm your host Joseph. Fiction Ink Flow. I'm your host Joseph. Fiction Ink Flow. If you don't have it, you are truly missing it. What's up? We are talking about Fiction Ink Flow. What's up? If you don't have it, you are truly missing it. Fiction Ink Flow. What's up? We are talking about Fiction Ink Flow. What's up?